Hey boys and girls, Miss Tasha here. Are you guys ready to get creative? Today we will be creating one of the most famous water lily projects by Claude Monet, but this time we will be creative with some tissue paper, watercolor, and a canvas. So let's get started and have fun. Here are some of the supplies that we will be using for this project. I have tissue paper. You will have two of the yellow. I got two different shades of pink. Three of them are going to be light and three of them are going to be darker pink. Then I had two tissue papers with the green, so we create the leaves for the pot. I'm also using watercolor. I'm actually using this kind here, but if you don't have this would actually work. This kind, the Crayola type, would actually work perfectly for this project. I've also making it on a canvas, and if you don't have a canvas, the paper is fine to use as well. We have paintbrushes, we have scissors to create our little designs on our flowers, and a piece of yarn which we're going to be using to tie up. As you see, I already cut my tissue paper. The yellow paper should be cut at a width of 6.5 inches, and the rest of the papers, pink and the green, should be cut at a 12-inch. So what we're going to start doing is that we're going to line them up as much as we can. And don't worry if it's not perfect, because we could cut around it and make it a little bit better. But we're going to start off by folding them all in a couple of inches. So we are going to continue to fold, but as you fold that first one, we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to fold the same exact way and align it with that first one we actually had already folded. And you're going to continue to do so all the way until you're done. If you find it easier, that you should clip it on the opposite side right here. Just do so, that way it won't move on you. And just continue all the way up until you're done. Now, once you have got to your end, you're going to have a little bit of excess here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it all off so we can keep it as even as possible. So as we move on, we're going to open them up, and we're going to separate the colors. The reason why we separate in the color is because we are going to cut them all differently. So let's start off by the yellow. Fold them and put them to the side for now. Then we're going to move on to the pink. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold them and put them to the side. And then we're going to do the same thing for the green. So we're going to start off by the yellow. We're going to fold it right up the middle. Make sure we press down on the crease. We're going to fold them to the half like this. So after we have that folded in the middle, we're going to actually cut it on the top, on the open edge. And we're going to do little tiny slits on it. Sometimes it's hard to get a grip of it, but you just try to do your best. And it should basically look like this once you're done with it. But we are going to put it aside. We're not going to open it just yet. So with the pink one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to try to press down as hard as you can. This one will be a little bit thicker. There is more colors and layers on this one. So try to get it as much as you can. So once you have folded it, you're going to open it up half. And you're going to create a little round edge so it'll look like the flower petal. It's going to be tough to cut this one, but like I said, try to do your best. So I gave it a nice little round look. And once you have done that part, I think I want to go a little bit lower because I don't want my flower to be too big. So told you it could be tough, but just try to align it as much as you can and make it like a flower petal. Now once you have created that one, you could go ahead and put it down so you can see what type of shape you did and cut the other one the same exact way, your other half. So this one is actually completed now. Now for the green one, we're gonna give it a different cut, but let's start by folding it in half. And I believe we could actually do this all at once because we only have 2 tissue papers on this. So we're gonna just give it a nice little triangle kind of cut to make it look like a leaf. If you wanna curve it a little bit on the top, that's perfectly fine. Oh. Trying to get them all aligned. And once we have finished up with this step, we're gonna put them all back together. So we're gonna open it up. The green one will go first because it is a leaf and it will be in the bottom. So we're gonna open them up. And we're gonna put them all together like we had them in the beginning. Now that we got them all folded up, here comes the string. The string we're gonna basically be using right in the middle of the flower. So I would try to probably fold it to try to make sure we are putting it in the middle. And what I tend to do is I try to tie it up right in the bottom so you will see less of the string. So we're gonna try to tie this up. It's kind of hard to do it with a yarn, but that's all I could find at the moment. If you could find an easier way to actually do it, go ahead, by all means, do it. But this is all I could find at the moment. So now that I got that done, I am gonna cut any of the excess yarn. And here comes the fun part. We will be starting to open it up. So we're basically gonna start with one side and we're gonna start lifting them. And we're gonna start by the yellow. And as we move on, we're gonna continue on to all the layers underneath it. So obviously this is the middle of the flower. This is why we actually cut it the way we did, to give it that extra texture and look. And we're going to continue to do so until we are completely done. So as you see, this is the finished flower. You could actually keep on going, trying to fix it at your liking and stuff. But I think it came out pretty cool, as you see. Think it might be too big for the canvas, but let's see about that. So as you see, I had to improvise a little bit. That flower came out a little bit too big, but I did have this extra paper around the house. So I went ahead and I cut a frame for it. And what I'm about to do now is I'm about to grab the hot glue, and I'm gonna put some hot glue on the bottom of our flower. You could actually do this with regular glue. It doesn't necessarily have to be the hot glue, but I prefer to use the hot glue so it'll stick a little bit better. Just keep it down for a couple of seconds and you should be good. So it should be attached to your paper now. Now this is where the fun begins. We are going to start getting creative with this watercolor. So what I want to start off doing is I want to start off with a dark green to give it a little bit of shadow underneath the leaves. So I'm going to use the darkest green I have right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that green to that area to make it look as dark as possible, to create that shadow illusion. And you could just continue to adjust as needed. I'm going to switch off. I think I'm going to switch off to a bigger brush. Make this go a little bit quicker. That's much better. And I will keep going around, just creating that look. just gonna go around and I'm gonna try to make it a little bit darker. So now that I have darkened that area, I'm gonna use a lighter green and start going around it. Just a tad bit, not too much. So once we have created this, we're gonna move on to the water. So now you could actually be creative. You can start using some of the colors. I will be showing some examples of Claude Monet's work, so you can see how he uses color and textures. So have fun with it. So as you see, here's your finished work. You guys have put your creativity to work, and it actually came out pretty nice. Although the flower did come out a little bit big, but we improvise, and that's the most important thing. Don't give up, just improvise. You will always find something around, laying around, that you can use to finish your project. So I hope you guys had fun, and please don't forget to post your pictures or your craft on social media using the hashtag BGCNEO Cyber Club. Have a good one, guys.